Hello people, this is FisherTwelve and we have another exciting Call of Duty eSports video for you guys today, as always, and I apologize if I sound a little sick. I'm feeling a little under the weather today, so again, I apologize for that. But today we are talking about RosterMania and all the trades that happened this past week. There was a lot that went down, so I'm going to go through all the trades that happened, review the current rosters as they stand right now, and then give my thoughts on the teams that I think improved and got worse. So, what really started the kickoff to RosterMania was Nadeshot deciding to take a break from Optic Gaming. You know, this came as a surprise to some people kind of expected it, but regardless, this kind of opened the gates for RosterMania because that meant that someone had to take that golden spot on the Optic roster, and then in turn the spot that person gave up had to be filled, and so on and so forth. So the kickoff was Nadeshot leaving, and then from there we found out that Karma was going to be moved up from Optic Nation to Optic Gaming, taking Nadeshot's spot, so he is going to be their fourth now. Then Proofy announced that he was leaving FaZe and going to Envy. Now keep in mind that FaZe Black isn't in Season 2, so they get some exemption from some of the roster change rules, so they don't necessarily need to be traded, I don't think. I think they can just freely go to different teams, provided that they're not a sub already on another team. If they're just not in the league at all, I think they have free range to do what they want. But following Proofy, Nameless was traded to TK for Looney. That was a fair swap. Then Nagafin, who was a sub for Optic Nation, was traded to FaZe for Sensor. Then Nagafin, who at this point is on FaZe, was traded to Elevate for Ricky. And then Ricky, now a part of the FaZe roster, was traded to Optic Nation for TP. A little confusing there, but that leaves us with TP on FaZe, and then TP and Aches were traded from FaZe to Envy for Aqua and Zuma. Aqua was being a sub for Envy at the time. Then the next big trade that happened was Parasite was traded from FaZe to TK for Theory. That was, again, just a fair trade. Then Embos, who was on Prophecy, was traded to Nation for Sensor. And then following that, Apathy announced that he was leaving FaZe, again that's FaZe Black, to join Prophecy alongside Sensor. Then FaZe, I believe, activated Hook from the bench. I think he was a sub from the FaZe Red roster, so I don't think they had to trade for him. And then following that, Study, who was on Prophecy, was traded to Envy for Aches, so then that made the Prophecy team Aches, Sensor, and Apathy. And then finally, this happened this past weekend, I think this was like Saturday or Friday morning, Lawless and Methods, who were on Justice, were traded to Envy for Merc and Study. So that might have been a little confusing. I'm hoping that the graphics will kind of fill in the gaps where questions may lie. But just to go over some other notable team changes that happened, Vex left Rise Nation and picked up Neslo in his spot. Rise also traded Perplex to AR for Wheats. AR traded Beelfire to Prophecy for Spacely. FaZe traded Theory to Rise for Lamagod, and Facento, who was serving as a sub on Optic Nation, was traded to Elevate for Huddle. Now, this leaves Elevate with 2 out of the 4 Revenge players, but as you may or may not know, the Revenge players are refusing to play with anyone except themselves, so they're pretty much at a standstill right now. So now, just to recap some of the rosters that had major team changes done to them, FaZe is now, there's no longer FaZe Black, it's just FaZe Red, and there's Nabel, Slasher, Zuma, and Hook on that team. Envy is now Looney, TP, Saints, and Proofy. TK is Sharp, Goonjar, Nameless, and Parasite. Prophecy is Ache, Sensor, Apathy, and Mochilla. Optic Nation is Killa, Mirix, Ricky, and Embos. Rise is Chino, Theory, Wheats, and Neslo. And Justice is Study, TCM, Octane, and Merc. Now, personally, I think all of these teams got better. Maybe Optic Nation and FaZe are a little questionable, but Nation hasn't been performing with their all-star, lineup, so any change they make, I feel, is an improvement. Although I think TP really fit the Optic brand well, so I was a little shocked and surprised to see him traded to Envy, but I guess things weren't working out and they had to pretty much flop over the entire team. And then with FaZe, they were in a bit of a sticky situation, I would say. You know, they had 2 teams, so they have 8 players, but they want to get rid of some of the players on their Season 2 roster, but then they also have a team that's not in Season 2, so I think it depends on how you look at it. I don't think their current roster is better skill-wise than the FaZe Red team that they had. Maybe personality-wise, but certainly not in-game skill-wise. But I do think that their current team is far better than their FaZe Black squad, so I guess depending how you look at it, FaZe Red might have actually made an improvement. So that's what went down last week. One of the craziest RosterManias we have. I do think MLG's trading system needs a few tweaks to better benefit the players so that they have more say, because as of right now, they don't really have much say when they get traded and are kind of just subjected to go where they get traded, and they could be on a good team now and then all of a sudden get swapped to a bad team and on to a lower bench. But that's a topic for another video, so we'll save that. But that is unfortunately going to bring us to the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Feel free to stalk me over on Twitter at FisherTwelve, same as the channel name. There'll be a link down in the description alongside a link to my live stream over on twitch.tv/FisherTwelve, where I live stream Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you guys there. Hope you enjoyed the video, and take care.